Welcome to the Cult Film Showdown special presentation, Controversial Saturday Morning Cartoons. I am your host, Jim Cotta, and I am joined by Super Ninja Nick Boxer.
Hands are out of pants.
And fresh from a bowl of Apple Jacks, it's Jack Hall.
Actually, it was apple, cinnamon, honey nut Cheerios.
Which may actually be the same thing.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
That sounds remarkable to Ghost Apple Jacks, but with a less catchy name.
It's made with the apple puree both ways.
See, yeah.
All I know is it was free.
Oh, hey.
They wanted to get rid of it.
Oh, buried the lead there.
Yeah, exactly. Free apple, cinnamon, apple, Jack, crunch, Cheerios. Let's talk about the Saturday morning cartoons.
Let us indeed. All right. Well, this episode we are talking about one of the two grandpappies of this whole subgenre, mini genre, along with Rambo. You can't talk about Controversial Saturday Morning Cartoons without talking about Chuck Norris Karate Kommandos. And Jack, tell us a bit about where this show fits in time, because everyone has a picture of what Chuck Norris has been like the last 10 years, but this is 1986.
Yeah, it was 1986. 1986, kids love Chuck Norris, even though his movies were, rated R. You have to understand, back in the 80s, like, karate and ninjas were just like the coolest. Like, it was the idea that you could beat up anybody if you had these skills, and even if you were a complete wimp, you could learn them and kick ass and protect yourself. And there's probably still some cachet to that, just because Cobra Kai exists. So Chuck Norris was the coolest of the cool too, and kids loved him. But his movies were not appropriate for kids. And then 1986, this cartoon comes along, runs for literally September 14th, 1986 to September 19th, 1986. 5 episodes over 5 days. And it's considered a mini series, even though none of the episodes are actually connected. And it was syndicated. And it's well, I'll wait to hear what you guys think of it first, because it's something. It's something, that's for damn sure.
Now, where was we the three of us I know love Chuck Norris at that time, because he was just the man, and he was the one that was kind of standing up. Like, he was an actual great martial artist, but wasn't like a gigantic muscle guy like Stallone or Schwarzenegger. So he was always kind of a little to the side. He was older than them too by a little bit. Where does this fit in his resume? Like, what else was he doing around that time?
About that time, 1986, he was doing like Missy in Action, a lot of those Rambo kind of knockoffs, Invasion USA, working a lot with Cannon, a little bit past Willem Wolf McQuay, and he first started obviously with the role with the Bruce Lee movie. Which one was it? It was Fist of Fury, I think.
Yeah,
is that correct?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, and Force of One, The Octagon, things like this in the 70s, and then moving on into the 80s. So right here, he is kind of one of those. He's an established B movie actor at this point. He's definitely not an A star, but his movies are B movies that go to the theater and turn a good profit.
And this is so all of the movies around this time, most of them will be R-rated. But as we've talked about in other episodes and all along, VHS was a very different time when it came to what a movie rating was. If you could get your mom to rent it for you, it was all rated G. So yeah,
True.
we were familiar with Chuck Norris, even though I don't think he made a PG movie until after this. I think Firewalker, I think, was his first PG movie, which was kind of around the same time.
Directly after.
Same
Yeah.
year. So Nick, tell us what the heck this thing is about. And,
Well, this
and
seems
more
to be
power
a
to
theme
you.
of these cartoons. I have no idea what went on. Yeah, Chuck Norris is a guy who hangs out with his action team consisting of a sumo, a samurai, a teenage sidekick, and a girl and a kid. And Chuck Norris's best buddy, scientist that works in the ocean, is kidnapped for Claw by an evil organization led by Claw, and Super Ninja, the creatively named bad guy,
Love that name.
and taken down to capture underwater city scientific outpost so they can rule the world. Chuck immediately jumps into action and kicks a bunch of nameless ninjas' butts. And his action team, none of them wear shoes in the first scene, which is awesome. I thought that was a continuity, genius move. But they're unsuccessful at preventing the kidnapping, so Chuck has to take his samurai to try to rescue his scientist buddy from a boat. And he takes the sumo with him for some reason. And they're successful in both liberating the scientist and the kitchen. Guess which one the sumo did? But
Yeah, that's
although
about
they
it.
were successful at capturing the scientist, they were unsuccessful at preventing access to the underwater city. So it's up to the rest of the karate team to go in, led by the samurai, to try to get the bad guys out of the city for some reason. It's very unclear why this city is important.
They
But of
call
course,
it,
because Chuck isn't with them, they immediately get captured. So Chuck decides, I need to go in there, me and my sumo buddy, and rescue the rescue team now. So they use dolphins for a sneak attack.
these would be the deadly dolphins from the title. So it's
Yes.
called Deadly Dolphins.
Now, this could have been easily prevented if they noticed at any point the dolphins were wearing clothing.
I love that bit.
On the approach. However, the bad guys failed to make that little discrepancy. And Chuck rushes in, saves his buddies. And I don't know, they went out for hoagies afterward.
Everyone gets a shawarma.
This is just so...
A basic plot, not convoluted at all, and for kids, and I think that was a wise move.
That there's a lot here. If anybody had any respect for the audiences whatsoever.
Oh.
I dearly love that bit with the dolphins that they so there's a way in, but it's got metal detectors, so they have to dump their scuba gear before they enter. So they're like, okay, well, we'll bring the trained dolphins that Chuck Norris can talk to, and give verbal direction, and we'll dump our stuff, and then they'll swim us in faster than we could, and we won't run out of air. And then the bad guys look at it. They look at this video of the dolphins, and the people like Chuck Norris and his team are hiding underneath, so they don't see them, but they see the jackets on them and go, "Yeah, it's just some fish." They literally just say it's just fish. In the greatest security failure since that escape pod has no life forms. Don't shoot at that.
But I mean, the need for scuba equipment in this universe is very suspect, because even in the first scene, Chuck doesn't wear any tanks or anything when he goes underwater.
No, they're testing new equipment. They do make that clear that
Oh,
it's actually a rebreather system that's pulling
oh, not clear
oxygen from
enough.
the water. Well, possibly not clear enough, but they did touch it. What you didn't mention is that because this uh, copies the style of the exact structure of Mr. T's. What was that one called? T and the T Force or something like that. Mr.
Yeah,
T's
with the
Yites.
opening, the live action opening, and then the
So
ending.
yeah.
Both were Ruby Spears
Mhm.
production. So yeah, I had the ending with the, Chuck Norris giving you a moral, just like Mr. T used to do.
I love just Chuck Norris in those bits is so awesome. He tells everyone you gotta have nerves of steel. But then he does the setup to the episode is like total 60s style. Uh, Things got pretty tough for us in Florida with the deadly dolphins. Oh man,
Uh,
this
there's
place.
so much this like you cannot watch Rambo and not think of GI Joe. I couldn't watch this and not think of Rambo, except for it's like one level down each time. You have GI Joe, and then Rambo's like a GI Joe wannabe. It's pretty good still, and then you got this, which is like a Rambo wannabe, and it's no good now.
It's like every
you
time.
know,
It's like the old days of when every time you made a photocopy of a photocopy, it would just get that much harder to read every time.
basically, yeah.
Uh, the these bad guys are the worst shots I've ever seen.
The worst. The stormtroopers look at them and go,
Stormtroopers are like, you got to work on your aim because
there's literally a point where the sumo is running towards him. Well, okay, there's a point where they're hanging on the side of the boat, the ship, this large ship. Chuck Norris and the sumo guy, and the guy is up from them about 10 feet away and manages to fire 5 times, every time missing them, going right in between them. And I'm like, that's some bad aim. But it gets worse later when one of the guys is being run at by the sumo wrestler there, Tage or whatever his name is, something like that. And the guy literally shoots at the sumo wrestler when he's 2 inches away and manages to shoot over his head. 2 inches from him, he shoots over his head. That's some bad aim.
that's some Greedo style bad aim.
And by the way,
See,
if you're
that didn't even
even if
bother
you're a
me though.
sumo,
I was thinking during that entire scene, you're going on a stealth mission. Why was your sumo the first choice?
well, my question was, why is the sumo? I understand he's sumo. Why is he wearing his diaper thing on a mission? Why? Like, maybe if he's in the sumo and he's training in the gym, I understand that. Maybe he even walks around the house like that, goes for hoagies like that, the shawarmas. But he goes on a stealth mission. He's still wearing. He's underwater with and everybody's swinging by, and here's this guy in this big diaper.
That dude knows how to stay on brand. That's what that guy is.
And how did they sneak the weapons in? Because we didn't mention that all the characters come.
You don't want to know
very
where they
unique,
snuck them in.
cool weapons.
You don't want. Oh, that was painful where they snuck them in.
I'm reasonably sure that there's like I think at least the wire cutters that they use are still on the dolphins when the dolphins go into that metal detecting tunnel. But they're like, oh, that's just fish, with metal. That's you know how fish are. They're always picking up pieces of metal. It's a mammal,
Of
not a
course,
fish.
of course.
I mean,
I
of
saw
all the
Jaws.
things,
He had when they opened up that Jaws and Jaws, that one shark, he had a can
right.
in there.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
why not? No,
Yeah,
this thing
license plate.
is
Yeah.
just it was really a struggle. I mean, yes, it has explosions and action, but nothing hits or lands because everything is just feeling so little effort is put in.
It's so
Like
goofy.
even the team, it's like they did. I'll give them this. They got a diverse team, but it's a good thing you have a team. You have Pepper and her little brother, because that's, always when you're doing a stealth mission, I always want to take a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
Always.
The one area I thought they actually put some effort into was the character designs. I liked all the costumes. I mean, sure, you have a sumo on the team. That's stupid, but they have cool weapons. They have cool costumes. If anything, if there was any character actually developed, I think this could have worked.
Well, they do have his ward, as you mentioned, Chuck Norris's young ward, teenage ward, whose name, I'm not kidding you, is Too Much. Too Much.
Well, I didn't say it. I like the designs, not the names.
That's awesome.
Hey, Too Much. Like, how do you not screw that? It's like naming your dog, Stains. Here, Stains. Come, Stains. Come, Stains. It just doesn't sound right.
And I thought having both the teenage sidekick and the protege was like double dipping. Like,
yeah, you had a kid and a teenager.
Yeah, and a samurai and a sumo. Like,
yes.
You're checking a lot of boxes there.
Yeah, and no one is coming off like not racist in their depiction.
Of course not.
Like, just pare it down, combine some of these characters, and maybe get rid of the one like extra white guy you have on the team that doesn't do anything.
There's one more little bit I want to hit, and then we'll do some other stuff, and then I want to report from Nick on something. There is a director to their team. It was called the director, and they're on an airplane where they're getting debriefed by the director, who's on a stationary bike through the entire scene.
Yes, for no reason. That's just a weird choice.
Sorry, fitness was a thing for Chuck, so obviously that was a suggestion.
They could all.
Although I don't think he read the script.
Yeah, exactly. He was ahead of the game on Pelotron, is all I'm saying. That's all it is.
They could have.
Yeah, no, it's a weird thing, but you know what they did do a lot of. They had the characters. They had all the generic ninjas, and then you have the two main villains, Claw, not Dr. Claw, just Claw, who always gives instructions to his lackeys, and always finishes it with, and remember this, and then shows his claw, his giant metal claw, like to intimidate them. And apparently he does that in every episode. So that's good writing. And then some female character named Angelfish, who apparently never shows up again. She's not a regular.
Oh, nice.
So it's basically just Claw and Super Ninja and the generic ninjas. I think they had toys for all those though, and I know they had toys for all the members. And apparently they had a lot of like weapons and vehicles and quite an extensive toy line for something that lasted, I will repeat, from September 14th, 1986 till September 19th, 1986.
Well, I have a feeling that cues me in. I hate to disagree with you, but it wasn't really that extensive a line of toys. You got 3 Chuck Norrises in different costumes.
Nice.
You got the protege character and not the sumo, but the samurai character in the toys. Your choice of for bad guys to fight were the super ninja, of course, and the ninja. That again, the super ninja and a ninja. That was your choices.
And a ninja master. A ninja master.
Actually, but the Ninja Master was a repaint of Super Ninja. Nice. There was also a repaint of the Ninja. And for vehicles, your choice was Chuck's Corvette,
Oh,
which
nice.
was awesome because it had spring out weapons.
Do we actually see that Corvette in this episode?
Oh
don't
no, you
remember.
don't. We don't.
I don't remember it.
It's in the intro, and it does some cool stuff with weapons that actually are on the toy. So that's awesome.
Nice.
But the thing I love about this Corvette, it had peg holes for all the characters to stand on the hood. So you could carry all your good guys into battle on this Corvette, standing on the car.
That's incredible.
So it's a good thing ninjas can't shoot straight.
All right, let's get this thing up to 30. We can't go any faster. Sumo's going to fall off.
I think the fact that they put in that much effort into a storyline for a series that lasted 5 episodes in syndication, that's pretty good. That's pretty good effort.
It's like 3 toys
good, and I think if they were a different scale, they would have fit in with G.I. Joe and like that. But these were 5.5, so they were He-Man size, and they used the superpowers like squeezing leg gimmick, which broke your toys more often than not. So they were a weird scale. So I can really see how no kid wanted these, despite I thought they looked good. And they came with a ton of weapons, and they were uniquely designed weapons. A lot of like foot daggers and poles with weird spider things on them and stuff.
Nice. How many issues of the comic did it run?
2 from Star Comics.
Nice.
The Star imprint of Marvel Comics, aimed towards youth readers. They put up 2. That was I don't remember who wrote them. It was drawn though by Ditko.
Oh, really?
Did the art? Yeah, the guy who really gave us pretty much all the important Spider-Man lore. Steve Ditko. So yeah, I mean, but if you listen, like they have very deep on the Wikipedia, very deep plot summaries of these comic books. And if you think the show sounded convoluted, I mean, this is something else.
Just taking a glance here, this might be the cheapest figures to get on the secondary market that we have seen in any of these. They're surprisingly affordable. Like a loose Corvette for $8 plus shipping. That was sold. That's a sale price. That's a sold price. Loose Chuck Norris for $4 plus shipping. So some mint and package that go a bit more, but overall, you can pick these up for a song. Complete your collection.
There you go. Complete your collection.
Nice.
Speaking of collection, what is everybody's favorite Chuck Norris joke? I like the one that's Chuck Norris doesn't climb trees. He pulls the tree down and just walks on them. I like that one. I also like the one. What is it? Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups. He just gets on the ground and pushes the earth down. If you have $5 and Chuck Norris has $5, Chuck Norris has more money than you.
I love those. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since I heard any of those. Those are awesome. I just love them all.
When Chuck Norris falls in water, he doesn't get wet. Water gets Chuck Norris. I love it. I love me some Chuck Norris jokes. Chuck Norris counted to infinity 3 times. Now I'm looking it up on a website.
While practicing CPR, Chuck Norris brought the dummy to life. That's a good one. Chuck Norris's blood type is AK-47.
Oh, that's good.
I like that one. Yeah, that's the thing. That's a thinker. That's an extra level there. Okay, I want one of these Chuck Norris figures now, though. This is awesome. Anything else we want to hit on? Chuck Norris's Karate Kommandos.
Don't watch it. It's hard to find anyway. Is one of the things. Whereas
There,
most of these are in like YouTube or whatever. This one is, I mean, somehow you James found us a copy and we watched it. But I mean, it's a little harder to find than what you were the rest of what we've been covering this season is.
mhm. Yeah, I saw it on archive.org and I grabbed it. I'm a bit old school. I like to have the file sitting on my computer. And when I went back to give you guys the link, it had already been taken down from archive. So glad I did. It pops up on YouTube periodically, but this is the one thing that people that is being monitored for its rights. I think there was a DVD complete set. Again, complete being 5 episodes.
You can buy it on Apple iTunes.
Okay, great.
So
We don't.
season 5.
That'd be a waste of your money. Waste of your money. So don't.
I mean, what percentage gets back to Chuck Norris? That's the important question.
Yeah, it's almost like nobody wants to remember this exists, either from like the people selling it to you or the people watching it. Like everyone just sort of walked away and went, let's just pretend this never happened.
After seeing it, that's the right move.
Chuck Norris is so awesome. He can download physical copies. Let's wrap this one up. So that's Chuck Norris' Karate Kommandos, and try at your own risk. Next up, we will be talking about Pryor's Place, Richard Pryor's kids show that ran from 84 to 85. And I'm looking forward to finding out what the heck was up with this one. We are the Cult Film Showdown. You can find.
You're gonna have to listen to a different show.
We'll put a link in the description for where you can find someone that does a better job than us and figure out what the heck Pryor's Place is about. We are the Cult Film Showdown. You can find us on Instagram and on Patreon, where you can support our efforts to bring light to these forgotten classics. And we are sponsored by WeTalkPodcast.com, the home of the Octagon, our record of our search for the ultimate B movie. And they host a bunch of great podcasts, including a music one and some fresh talking. We Talk Podcast has a Facebook and they have a Twitter. And we'll be back next time.